And welcome back, everyone, to Lantern Corps from, and I want to see if I got this name right, David, is it Atkinson? Oh, yeah, David Atkinson. We have the question of, why is the Lantern Corps of the Saint of Killers from Preacher? A series that I do want to watch, but I've never actually read or watched, but I've seen enough clips that I definitely know enough about it to at least accurately show what Lantern Corps the Saint of Killers is from, or is in. The Saint of Killers, though, was essentially, he was a killer. He was a Western killer, a man who loved killing beyond anything, but was also a family man. Loved his family, loved his wife, loved his daughter. So when they were taken from him, his only bit of humanity was taken from him, and he went on a killing spree until he was taken out. And was left in hell for God knows how long, until eventually Satan broke him out of hell, more or less, or sent him out of hell to go collect Jesse. And so that went all wild. Then he ultimately, spoilers for the series, by the way, Jesse one-upped him. He came back to hell. It was revealed there was a bad, not a bad thing done, but there was something was revealed, and then he ultimately took his vengeance, and then he ultimately took vengeance again. I'm not going to go into too much spoiler if you haven't watched or read the series, but yeah, give it a watch. So, the Saint of Killers, I think there are 4 real contenders here. Believe it or not, Will is not one of them. Despite the fact that this guy's got God knows types of willpower, his willpower doesn't work in the same way. Like, yes, he's got great willpower, but he doesn't display the ability to overcome great fear because he's really just not afraid of anything. Being fearless doesn't inherently mean... Let me put it this way. Being fearless works if you're already a yellow or a Green Lantern. It doesn't actually work to qualify for a Green Lantern ring because you have to show you can overcome great fear. So it's a bit of a catch-22 on here. But that being said, he's also not a Lantern of Sorrow. He's definitely not a Gold Lantern. Not a Lantern of Shame. He showed no shame for what he did. He's definitely not a White Lantern. Among the options we have here, though, Lantern of Fear, he's definitely could be a Lantern of Fear, at least to a certain degree. I mean, he scared the hell out of Eugene, Satan, or Hitler, Satan. God was also scared of him. Like, this is the guy who scares a lot of people. However, I mean, let's get to LA right now. The very likely option is Rage, just to go with. Just because this is a man who chooses vengeance. He chooses to embrace his anger. He can literally, his anger is so vitriol, it can literally heat up his gun through just breathing on it and fire a shot directly through the planet. Like, this is a guy, it's insane the level of rage this guy has, but it's not outward thrashing out and lashing out rage. It is cool, calm, collected rage, but it's seething. Like, this is a guy who's always angry. But there are 2 other options we have to take in consideration. One is love, because he did love his daughter greatly, and he is someone who did at least somewhat he did out of love. But I feel just he ultimately chose rage in the end. So while love maybe could have worked at one point, it can't work anymore. Now, with that said, there's obviously the other issue of death. Now, he was dead in hell, but then he was sent out of hell. But he's still technically a spirit who was dead. He's not alive. You can't even kill him conventionally. You need something well beyond the norm to kill him. He is someone who reveled in death, enjoyed death, killed because he liked it. And he's killed things that shouldn't be. He's killed Satan. He's killed God. Spoilers. But yeah, it's one of those. This is tough because in all the circumstances, in all the times we see him in the story, he is already dead. Even when he's out in the real world, he's dead. But Rage, man, Rage is like, he is kind of an incarnate of Rage. One of those characters who is certainly an incarnate of Rage. Oof. So if I were to be under the sea in an octopus's garden choosing the 2 lantern cars, I would say, weirdly enough, does this, okay, I guess the question is he so full of rage it supersedes a Black Lantern ring trying to take him? And like if the two Lantern rings came forth and or came together and tried to take him, I would actually say yes, because the catch 22 in a Black Lantern ring is it's similar, not exactly the same, but similar to a Lantern ring of compassion. Because it is somewhat parasitic. It does rob you of some of your wherewithal, some of your ability to choose. It's a because you're kind of at the control of Necron to some degree. You do still have some of your personality in there, no doubt about it. Whereas you're almost completely robbed it with the Indigo tribe. But I feel like because now Necron in terms of overall power, and like cosmology, yeah, it's God and Satan. Yeah, these are some of the weakest versions of God and Satan in like fiction, straight out. So I would say Necron could beat either version of this God or Satan without too much difficulty. But so yeah, could he resist Necron? Because if he's resisting the influence of the Black Lantern ring, I'll give him the Lantern ring of rage, definitely. But if he can't resist it, I'd go with the Black Lantern ring. Personally, I'm more inclined to say rage. Because even getting into heaven, he never let go of his rage. So yeah, I'd say he is a good candidate for rage, but death would be right behind him, literally. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.